Hello and welcome. You're watching our 12 p.m. show, and the topic obviously will be around will Ajit Agarkar and Shiv Sundar Das. Means the main picture is around these two. One of them, we are very sure about that. There could be a new person in his place, but the main man, the chairman of selector Ajit Agarkar, what the future lies for the man. We will discuss around, and we'll definitely see. Will there be an extension in the proposal? Is there anything in the past also during the initial months of this year where we can say that he was trying to convey certain things to the board of control for cricket in India, and definitely we'll also talk about the who could be the potential replacement. So yeah, Debashish Da has also joined us from Colombo. So let me just first go to Debashish Da just to know about what's going to happen in Sri Lanka today in Colombo, and then we'll get back to our very own topic. Debashish Da, what's the update? Is weather okay? Is sun is out in Colombo? How's everything as far as the ground and the conditions are concerned? And what's the update for the day, Debashish Da?
Yeah, Rohit, I'll just show you what's the situation like. I'll show you the live visuals. 1 minute. I'll just
Sure, sure, sure,
one
sure.
second. Yeah,
Because we have been already told, we have seen in the weather websites also that it's not looking very good. But because two of our correspondents are there, and you can see it's not bad. It's good as far
yeah,
as Sri Lankan standards are concerned. Devashish Da, so as I can
yeah,
see that
Devashish
you're
da,
right,
go ahead.
right in that very ground at the NCC.
yeah. I am right now at the NCC, and the good news is that the arrangements are in progress for the match to be live televised. So
Okay.
and the update that we are getting is it's not an official first class game. So
Yes.
as Shumikda said that so we might see all the 15 players getting an opportunity if the team management decides so. So the first
Yes.
thing is it's not an official first class game, and it's the match will be live streamed, so you can see that there you can see the broadcasters people, they are here just doing a reiki as to what, and there you can see that's the center wicket. I'll just try and show you what the conditions like. If I am just let me just take a chance if I can go and show
Sure.
you what exactly will be the ground like that before the team arrives, because the team will supposed to train from um, 2 p.m. So it's still a couple of hours. So I think I won't be stopped. So I am just giving you a sneak peek as to how the 22 years will look like for the 3-day practice camp, which starts
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. I'm just
Tomorrow, yes. Yes. I think there is some network issue, I think, which I think Devashish Da is facing at this point of time. Right behind, you can see, I think if I'm not wrong, the SSC floodlights, the Senelese Cricket
yes,
Club
like
floodlights are also there. Uh, so yeah, let Devashish Da reach there, and we will definitely see the 22 yards
so
also,
I am
because yesterday when you
stopped
look at it,
yesterday to
Internet is a bit choppy.
yeah, Devashish, the internet is not good. I think it's the network when you were in the fence around that sitting area. The network was really good there. I don't think that network is really well here. Maybe Devashish is on Wi-Fi mode. There could be a possibility also, but we'll get back to him, and we'll see what the wicket looks like. He had a word with the curator also. You can see the interviews. There are many exclusive. There are ground reports also. There are everything around what Indian team is doing as far as today's practice session. As he rightly said, it's 2 p.m. and there is no local, because India standard time and Sri Lankan standard time, they go hand in hand. Means 2 p.m. here, 2 p.m. there. But Shamikda, coming to the real question, what are the updates? Are we going to see the last of Ajit Agarkar in as far as the chairman selector thing is concerned, around this month or the upcoming month, or will we see anything different around after this series rather?
Uh, Rohit, I mean, Ajit Agarkar's case is a bit complicated. One
Okay.
change is going to happen, that is Shiv Sundar Das is on his way out,
Yes.
and there is no boardroom entry here.
एक
Shiv
मिनट
Sundar Das was
प्रकाश देवाशीष दा के फ्रेम को बड़ा कर दो.
I think he's right in between. I think in 22
Yeah.
yards.
Actually, I
Ah,
forgot. I forgot to leave because I am
yeah.
connected with what's hotspot.
Wi-Fi.
So I left.
Yeah.
Okay.
I left my other mobile. I left my other mobile in the
Understood.
pavilion, and I started
Understood.
walking out of excitement. So now I am. I will be able. Those are the three practice wickets, Rohit. This is
Yes.
the practice arena. I'm going to show you our viewers what exactly it has started to get a bit gloomy. It has
Okay.
started to get a bit gloomy. So, as we predicted, there might be patches of showers which
Yeah.
might disrupt the practice match, the 3 day practice match, which begins from tomorrow. So,
Okay.
there are three wickets. So, this is where the Indian team trained yesterday, their first training session here in Colombo. So,
Yes.
you can see the
Okay.
three wickets that have been prepared for the Indian team. This is the first one. Actually, this wicket, the Pacers bowled. The
Yes.
extreme left, the wicket that I am showing you, this is the wicket where the Pacers bowled. Next to this wicket is a second one where the throwdown specialist Raghu Nuan and Dayanand,
Yeah.
they gave
Yeah.
throwdown to the batters, and this is the extreme right one where the spinners bowled. So
Okay.
these are the three wickets. These are the three wickets. I am told that I cannot. Yeah, I'm just going. So this is where the arrangements are. So the Indian, and there you can see the Indian, they normally relax here because it's
Yeah.
very hot, and suddenly the sun comes out as well. It is hot, but at the same time it is getting a bit gloomy as well. Rohit.
Okay, thank you, Devashishda. We'll come back to you again. You can settle down till then. Wherever is the if there is any sitting opportunity there, or just with the frame, and then till then we can ask questions from Shamikda and Shubhanda. Thank you so much for this, Devashishda. Uh, uh, Shamikda, yeah, coming to the same question again. What lies ahead for Shiv Sundar Das and Ajit Agarkar? And if Shiv Sundar Das is going, then who could be the potential replacement?
No, Rohit, the thing is that Shiv Sundar Das is on his way out, and that there
Hmm.
is no boardroom intrigue in that. Shiv Sundar Das
Yes.
was appointed selector in 2023 January,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
means 2026 December he will complete his 4 years. Now,
Okay.
as per the new BCCI constitution, it is about a selected tenure is 4 years, and any and someone can be in any BCCI committee, including selection committee, for a maximum 5 years. So in that
Hmm.
way, he is completing his term, and he will
Yeah.
be on his way out. He will be on his way out. As regards his replacement, BCCI will soon. What I am told that BCCI will soon put out an advertisement, because once again, as per the changed constitution, they will have to put out that advertisement. This is the formal process. I'm not going to the hectic backroom parlance, but this is the formal process. BCCI will have to put out an advertisement, and based on the applications, they will take a call. And also, earlier, what it used to happen, a selection committee's term used to be from one AGM to another. But now, once again, after that change, it is not specific to AGM, because, like Shiv Sundar Das was appointed in January 2023, Ajit Agarkar was appointed in July 2023. Now, coming to Agarkar, there is a, I mean, uh, there, it is a bit complicated in the sense, on the face of it, Ajit Agarkar terms end in 2027 June. That is when
Okay.
he completes his 4 years. Now,
Okay.
what I mean, BCCI hasn't confirmed this, or no official confirmation in this regard.
Hmm.
But what we should rather put it this way: a story has been doing the rounds that Ajit Agarkar, when he replaced Chetan Sharma midterm, he
Hmm.
was given a 3 year contract. So
Okay.
by that 2026 June, his term ended. Now, after in 2026 June, he was given a 3 month extension until September. So if that is the case, then Ajit Agarkar's time expires after September 2026. As per the constitution, he can go on until 2027 June. But beyond that, whether that will be, there is still a couple of months left this month in September. And as of now, I can confirm no discussion between the BCCI and Ajit Agarkar has taken place as regards to extending his tenure. It can happen, but it is also important to know whether Ajit Agarkar is willing to seek an extension, because that during that discussion, when that discussion will take place, BCCI
Yeah.
will hear Ajit Agarkar's side of the story also. So that is one thing. Beyond, if you ask me whether his term can be stretched until 2027 World Cup, 50 over World Cup, which is in October, November, see, going by the letter of the law, it is not possible. Because come
Hmm.
what may, 2027 June, his term ends. Now, if you can
Okay.
get around that, if you can bring on any amendments or whatever, legally, if you can bring on anything, only in that case can you extend his term. Otherwise, no.
Okay. Okay. I'll come to that. The second part of the question, that who could be the potential replacement if there's any. But Shubhanda, what you make of this? Ajit Agarkar, as Shamikda rightly said, that as per papers and as per official calls and the rules, uh, it's 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 not looking like possible that he will make it to 2027 for someone who will announce, or let's not go into the announcement part can be done by the means, it is mostly done by the secretary. If secretary is not there, then obviously chairman selector can announce the squad. But the guy, the five wise men we always talk about, I don't think that by the official terms Ajit Agarkar will be there as far as the 2027 squad decision will be taken. Do you think that it's going to be tough now for him to get to that particular 2027 World Cup team thing?
Yeah, Rohit, I think it's pretty much complicated. I think we have discussed it in our Hindi live yesterday also.
Yes.
That Ajit Agarkar's position is a bit complicated right now. No doubt that this selection committee has done a really good job under Agarkar, and India have kind of done a major transition in this last couple of years, and India have won trophies also. Yes, there have been controversies, there have been criticism from fans, but that will always happen when your favorite players are dropped, or there's a question mark on the position of your favorite players, the mega stars of Indian
Hmm.
cricket, and that has been the case with Agarkar and others. Yeah, like in Shiv Sundar Das case, his tenure is over, so there's no chance that it will get extended. So from someone from East Zone will have to. There will be an advertisement, and someone from East Zone will come into the picture once again, and that will have to see who are the contenders who would be willing to throw their hats into this selection committee thing. I know for the fact that a few former Bengal cricketers were interested at least a couple of months back, but we'll have to see now that Bengal have appointed their share of coaches also, age group, senior group. So we'll have to see who all of them are available or are willing to leave that position to become a national selector. We'll have to see. But in Agarkar's case, I think things have spiraled down. At least in the last month or so, since that England tour, Ireland tour, there was a lot of talks around selection committee interfering in Vaibhav Suryavanshi's selection. Sanju Samson dropped that episode. Sanju Vaibhav thing, which had a massive trickle down effect in social media among fans. After that, we saw what happened after Cardiff. Rohit Sharma before Lords ODI Rohit Sharma thing, and from there on, BCCI gave a statement. Devajit Saikia came on record and gave a statement, which we generally don't see from
See.
BCCI officials. You don't
Yes.
generally see suddenly a BCCI secretary coming out and giving a video or a text interview around whatever leaks were happening or whatever reports were there on going on media. So you generally don't see. And as soon as Devajit Saikia's statement came, I think we clearly saw, see, whatever news came around Rohit Sharma, that was also something which was not wrong. Selection committee or team management, they have at least shared their opinion around Rohit Sharma's future and why we can't commit on him till the 2027 World Cup. But at the same time, for the BCCI top chief to come out in the public and give a statement, that was clearly a contradiction going on within the selection committee and the BCCI. So from there, I think things have spiraled down a bit. Uh, and about Ajit Agarkar, I think a lot will depend on Sri Lanka series as well. Right now, nobody in the BCCI would. Yes, things are there are differences in opinions, and that happens everywhere. But right now, everyone would ideally want continuity till the 2027 World Cup. If, in that case, if it does not happen, then of course you will have to appoint two selectors, then Shiv Sundar Das and someone from the West Zone replacing Ajit Agarkar. And if someone with lesser test cap than Pragyan Oja or RP Singh comes into the picture, then automatically Pragyan Oja will become the favorite to be the chief selector, because he has played the most number of test matches among all the selectors as of now. So let's see. But in case Ajit Agarkar does not continue, then it is a bit tough to find someone who will be at this market where there are former players are willing to go and commentate and have an easier schedule to someone for someone to play 50, 60 test matches and come into the selection committee picture. I think that is a trickier ask, and that is where BCCI will have to step in and ask a few players whether they would be willing to become the national selectors, replacing Agarkar and Shiv Sundar Das. But a lot will depend on Sri Lanka tour and the results there.
Devashishda, all will depend on the Sri Lanka tour. This is the crux. This is the main line. First thing, is there anyone as far as the selectors are concerned? Because when I was there in the India A thing, Ajit Agarkar was there. We saw it in England also. That Pragyan Oja was very much part of it. After that, when the ODI series started, it was Mr. Ajit Agarkar who was there. Is there anyone, or you're listening anything around that anyone will be there as far as the chairman selector, or maybe someone from the selectors will be there? And the second part, do you also think that it's going to be a very tough task? If we discussed in Hindi last night that if it's a draw also, then also it could be something which will raise a lot of questions, in terms of criticism or in terms of constructive criticism also, that why we are not able to win in these kind of conditions. Sri Lanka is not very different from the Indian conditions. We are there, means what, 10 days ago we are having this three-day game also. Before that, two practice sessions. Then obviously two practice sessions will be held in Gaul also. So you have under your belt 8-9 practice session for a very subcontinent kind of condition. If results doesn't go in your favor, then there could be some serious changes, Devashishda.
Yeah, absolutely. And India to really, for India's to have a realistic chance of qualifying for the WTC final, they have to win at least
Yeah.
7 out of 9 test matches. So
Yes.
for and that is where this Sri Lanka, the 2 match test series, becomes very very crucial for the Indian team to win. Means, as far as the selectors who will be traveling, I haven't got an update yet because there was none of the selectors to be seen. But it will be interesting. There should be one of them, one of the selectors. But I would just go back to a few years down. Means there has been instances in the past when the selection committee chairman and the captain has been on the same page. You talk about Mahendra Singh Dhoni era, or later on, you talk about Virat Kohli. I think it has always been the selection committee chairman and the captain who has been on the same page, which has not been the case in recent past. In
Okay.
recent past, because the selectors have faced a lot of criticism, and especially I cite out our example, the way Mohammad Shami issue has been handled.
Hmm.
RP Singh was one of the matches, if I'm not wrong. I think he was in Kalyani in one of the matches, regional matches, where Shami was playing. And we have so far not yet got a clarity as to what is the road ahead. It is only we are speculating that it is just the doors are closed for Mohammad Shami, but that is not how you treat a senior player. And
Hmm.
it has we have seen it in this selection under this selection committee chairman that senior players. I am talking about senior players who have not been given a clarity as to what is the road ahead for them. So I think, and for that you need a clear communication between the selection committee chairman and the captain. In this case, I don't know. It is if you ask me, I think Ajit Agarkar is more authoritative than compared to Shubman Gill. So I think it would be only be fair to say that you obviously ideally if you want the selectors to complete their term in this case, but the way things have gone in the last few months, I think certainly the areas could have been improved. That is the reason what Sumayan mentioned, that is the reason why Debajit Saikia come out on record to speak. This is something
Yeah.
that has not happened in Indian cricket in last 10 years, at least in my memory. So I think that is something that obviously there has been a few highs as well as few lows in when it comes to the communication with the senior players.
Sure. Shamita, what could be the potential replacement, if there's any call, to be taken after this series or maybe results? We already did a show around this maybe a week ago where you said that we don't want to jump the gun at this point of time. But if the result doesn't go in our favor, then there could be some, serious changes we can see in this whole Indian setup. I'm not talking about any individual, just the whole setup. But as far as the chairman selector is concerned, do you think that if that happens, if Ajit Agarkar's, you need to replace him, who do you replace him with?
Uh, Rohit, these are the decisions that usually are taken at the 11th hour. I stick
Okay.
to what I stick to what I said earlier, that this series is going to be very, very important for both
Okay.
head coach Gautam Gambhir and chief selector Ajit Agarkar. More so for Gautam Gambhir in the context of red ball cricket, because
Okay.
red ball cricket and limited overs cricket, the two are mutually exclusive. So
Yes.
it is not that India have been qualifying and winning ICC trophies can insulate a coach from red ball failures. The two are mutually exclusive. So this
Yes.
is very, very, once again, I will reiterate, we don't want to jump the gun. But this
Sure.
series is very, very good, will be very, very important for head coach Gautam Gambhir, and also maybe for Ajit Agarkar. But as, as regards your question, these are the calls taken at the 11th hour. Uh,
Okay.
uh, as we know, 2 months, still 2 months down for the BCCI AGM to happen. And this is around that time in September when that backroom pearl is happening, when that, behind the scenes thing happened. Because if you can recall, there was a time, I think last year or the year before that, Parthe Patel was very close to getting a selector's job. He was sort
Hmm.
of, it felt like he would be the next selector from the West, from a different.
West
So,
one.
but that, but that didn't happen, right? So these are and once again you have to keep in mind also the fact. If
I
you
think
ask me whether there is a, sorry.
there was Ritinder Sodhi's name also from North Zone.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So these are the calls once again that are taken at the 11th hour. And if you ask me whether there is a panga between the selection committee and the BCCI at this moment in time, the
Hmm.
answer is no. Is there a difference of opinion? Difference of opinion between the selection committee and BCCI over Rohit Sharma? The answer is yes. The selection committee's thought process, and in any corporate sector, in a professional world, it is only fair that you can have a difference of opinion that just attests the domestic structure, and setup. So selection committee's thought process as far as Rohit is concerned is
Hmm.
different to what the BCCI brass has been thinking. And once again, that can happen. But is there a panga between the two? It is not that case. But
Okay. Can, can
let
can we directly say that? Can we directly say that BCCI is not jumping the gun around Rohit Sharma? That before every series there has to be this kind of a noise around him that this will be his last series, and the selection committee is saying different. That's what you are talking about when you're talking about Rohit Sharma. And
Rohit,
two thoughts.
Rohit, BCCI has a very fair
Yes.
logic.
Yeah.
BCCI has a very fair logic in the sense if you look at Rohit Sharma's statistics
Hmm.
over since October last year. I mean,
Yes.
October last year when he was on a sort of slippery slope, and Ajit Agarkar, I attended the press conference in Ahmedabad when he said, "Just see,
Hmm.
Jaiswal is ready." But if you
Yes.
look at Rohit Sharma's performance,
Hmm.
51 is his average. He has
Yeah.
scored runs at an average of 51, which is
Yeah.
higher than his career average of 48. And Rohit
Yes.
is one of the I mean, he's a bona fide white ball legend, 50 over World ODI legend. So at
Sure.
39 years of age, he has
Hmm.
increased his average. So how can you remove someone? And we are talking about someone like Rohit Sharma. Forget
Exactly.
about the number of Instagram followers or number of Twitter followers that he has. Just think
Yeah.
about his contribution to Indian cricket, and he's still scoring runs. In his last ODI innings, he has scored a century. So how can you remove someone?
Yeah.
I
Sure.
mean,
Fair point.
who is still contributing? So if that is
Good
the
point.
thought process of the BCCI, you cannot counter that. From the
Fair.
selector's point of view, if they are thinking, if they feel that okay, he is scoring runs at this moment in time, but
Hmm.
15 months down the line, we are not so sure that he can contribute when he will be 40 years of age. And we have a
Hmm.
guy called Jesse Jaiswal who has scored two
Yes.
centuries in his last two ODI innings.
Yeah.
So from you have to take that into account also. So it's once again a little bit of complicated issue.
Sure. If you need to take cricketers by followers, then I think Shubha and I have more followers than many of the cricketers in X. But Shubhanda, coming to you, do you also buy this point, which Shamikda rightly said? Logic is there. When you talk about Rohit Sharma at this point of time, I don't think there's anything around what the performance. When you see the performance meter, you see him scoring runs. After October, take that Champions Trophy also, Champions Trophy final, man of the match. Most important contribution as far as that particular match is concerned. After that, coming after the game, after 7 months, everyone has their questions up, that for both of them, for Virat also and for Rohit also, that will they be in similar kind of mindset, practice kahan ki hogi, motivation kaise aayega. These all questions are were there. But look at his innings. I think 79 he made in Perth, in Adelaide, and then a match winning not out 100 in Sydney. And since then to now, just leave that South Africa series, and he has already have a 50 plus score in each and every series he played. So I think there's a merit to what Shamik Da is saying at this point of time, a very strong merit.
And the player has every right to fail, at least in one bilateral series, right? Even your youngsters can't go on and score centuries after centuries in every bilateral series, whoever it is. Seniors can also have a bad series. They can also have a poor series. That doesn't mean you will start questioning his place in the squad. Yes, you can of course talk about longevity. You can talk about 27 is still too far, and that goes for every player. I mean, right now we can't sit here and say these are the 15 players. Four can get injured, three can have poor run of form, they can be dropped. You can have change of, the composition of the squad. You can drop a leg spinner, you can bring in an off spinner. A lot of things can happen. So there's no guarantee that the 15 that are playing right now in ODI cricket that they will make it to the squad for the World Cup. So, uh, but my question is why to question a player's future when he's picked in the squad. That's just my question. If you have picked someone, let him play that series without any noise. Yes, if you want to, if a reporter gets a story from a selector or somewhere, that's a credit to the reporter that he's able to get something out of the selector's stomach or selector's mind. Uh, and but again, that should not be the case every series. You can't, if you
Sure.
see one, if a reporter gets one scoop before a series, then that can be praised. Oh, that's the credit to the reporter, and we can give a lot of praise to the reporter, and rightly so. But if it starts happening every series, one reporter, two reporter, three reporter, if it starts happening every series, before every series, then And then I think that is where the problem lies. Yes, you can have difference of opinion. Selectors can say that we are not sure about their places in the 27 World Cup, but that does not mean you will start putting up question marks when the player is out on the field, or when the player is mentally preparing to go there and represent the country. So that is where my question is. But apart from that, I mean, for Agarkar also, it will be pretty interesting if the BCCI, if India wins 2-0 against Sri Lanka, and BCCI gives, and if BCCI wants, they can take him to the 27 ODI World Cup. They can even take him to the LA Olympics if the BCCI wants. They can change the rule books if they want. But at the same time, uh, for Agarkar also, I mean, if his selection committee is saying that we are not sure about players, and the BCCI are and them are not on the same page, then I am pretty sure he will ask questions to himself, that if people are not listening to my vision, or if they are not buying to my vision, will there be any use in me staying there for another year or so? We have not seen a selection committee as big as this one, big as in the experience that we are getting. Three former proper, who have played test cricket, 40, 50 test matches, 60 test matches in their careers. We have not seen high profile selection committee like this, where you have Agarkar, you have someone like RP Singh, Pragyan Oja. They have played many test matches for India. So we have not seen a selection committee like
Yeah,
this.
means
So
20 plus test
uh,
matches for both of them.
yes, yes. So the bigger the committee is in terms of experience, I think there will be more opinions, more stronger opinions, more ego, and more authority, wanting to take that authority and stamp their presence in that in the Indian cricket. But let's see what happens.
Okay, last question, Debashis. Do you also see this kind of pressure? Both of Shubhanda and Shamikda, told us that this is not just another series for Gautam Gambhir and his men. And I'll add Shubman Gill to it, because Shubman was the captain. From that England series started, wonderful series. Scores, sorry, the series scores were level. But after that, when you came back to India, you won against West Indies. But then we all saw that what happened against South Africa. Yes, he was not part of the series as captain as far as the complete series is concerned. But we are losing also, as far as the series are concerned. So now coming to this, do you see any kind of these things around? Yes, it's just still one day when they practiced, but do you see any kind of pressure on them? Do you see them trying to be a lot more proactive as far as playing spin is concerned, or planning against them is concerned? What did the first day told you about that this is not any other series as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, but a series that can define the future of India's red ball cricket from here onwards? Is there anything on the park?
Yeah, absolutely. And Gautam Gambhir looked very focused. Means we saw it
Okay.
in the first practice session, and the focus has been very systematic. Means obviously a lot of the focus was on spinners. Means the spin
Mhm.
bowlers, but and also the both the coach and the batting coach Sitangshu Kotak was seen spending much time with the batters. And this is something I'm not saying this is happening for the first time. This has been a regular thing.
Yeah.
Both all of us has covered multiple practices in the Indian team. This is quite normal. After the batters spends time in the middle, he comes and have a chat with the batting coach or the coach as to what went wrong, or is there something that needs to be worked on. But specifically, if you ask me about that first practice session, a lot has been seen, with both the support staff working on the technique as far as the spinners are concerned. Someone like a Devdutt Padikkal or a Shubman Gill, and this is, I think, this is where I think the coach also will acknowledge the fact that the team hasn't done well in recent times as far as playing against the spinners are concerned. Yeah, there has been notion that this current crop of batters have been found wanting against quality spinners, the likes of Mitch Santner or a Simon Harmer. But I think here also the same will lie ahead, because there will be challenges from the Sri Lankan spinners. Yes, given the last time we were to toured here, we registered a whitewash, but every series might not be the same. It is because the clip clearly this current crop of batters were found wanting, and it is up to them. The onus is on the batters, leading from the captain, to make it a point. Yes, Shubman, you rightly said Shubman missed that series against South Africa, getting injured in that first test match at Eden Gardens. But obviously, he has to take the flag. Yes, Rishabh Pant played that atrocious shot, means very indisciplined as a captain. But obviously, when you talk about the test team, it is all about Shubman Gill because he is the leader of your team. So I
Sure.
think it is up to the captain. He led from the front in England. So it will be high time for him to again lead by example. Obviously, there's a Yashasvi Jaiswal, a KL Rahul, a Dhruv Jurel, Rishabh Pant, everyone. But the onus again, once again, will be on Shubman Gill and Gautam Gambhir. This the coach captain duo.
Okay.
Ro-
Yes. 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 Sir.
Rohit, I have a question for Devashish. Devashish, just one practice session, but India have a new fielding coach in Shubhadeep Ghosh. Have you noticed any alteration in the fielding drills via the Dilip? That is one question. And another is that how did you see Ravindra Jadeja, who went there after recovering from a tennis elbow? He had a bit of a layoff. So how did you see Ravindra Jadeja at the Nets?
Yeah, let me just first answer Ravindra Jadeja. He seems to be in a relaxed mood. Obviously, in the first practice session, he was in a very jovial mood. He batted for a long time. He also bowled along with Manav Sutar in the nets. Yes, it will be a very important series for Ravindra Jadeja, given that we already have two left-arm spinners in that last series against South Africa. Yes, Manav Sutar made a debut and immediately made an impression by being the man of the match. So yes, and remember, Jadeja is not his age is not going down. Means obviously with each series, and given the way how Mohammad Shami and others were handled, I think we never know. Means so Ravindra Jadeja, it will be very important series for Ravindra Jadeja as well. As far as the body language, he looked very relaxed. He seems to be enjoying. Shomikda.
Shubhadeep Ghosh also. Shubhadeep Ghosh. I think one change which I noticed is about the Yashasvi Jaiswal change in his slip
Yes.
position. That's the only thing I noticed. Yeah. Yeah,
But he
Devashish.
was, I think, unlike T Dilip, we haven't seen T Dilip with a board, with something written on. As soon as he turned up yesterday in the practice session, ahead of the team arrived, he was seen having going through certain things that were written on a board. I don't know what was it all about. It is up to the batting coach who normally keeps a track of all this. But the fielding coach was having a look. But I think with passage of more time, the players will get used to it. It is up to how you get along with it. And so it will take time. It will not be overnight because P.T. Dilip, his involvement with the Indian team for 5 years, obviously he has tested success, yes. But yesterday, what was noticeable was a lot of time was spent on catching, close catching, slip catching, high catching. So once again, the onus will be on Subhadeep Ghosh. Not obviously, you know, if the fielding, if any fielders blemishes on the field, the the fault goes to the fielding coach. As to इसने ये कराया नहीं इसलिए catches छूट रहा है. But ultimately, it is the
Unfortunately,
players who go out. It's the players who go out in the
unfortunately,
middle and unfortunately, yes, and but the fielding coach takes all the flack because of the catches that are missed. We have seen Dolly means Dolly catches being missed by the Indian team in recent past. So let's see, but obviously, as far as the communication and the camaraderie, it will take time, Rohit. It will not happen just overnight, just after one practice session. I think in a few more days before Shubhayan and Shomik turns up and before the next series against New Zealand, we might see a lot more good camaraderie between Shubhadeep Ghosh and the other players. But at least after watching him for day one, I think it will be too premature as to how the players are. Obviously, ऊपर से तो वही दिखाएगा कि चलो we are listening to you, but how are they bonding with the fielding coach? जैसे कि टी दिलीप ने हम लोग को दिखाया, I think it will take some time.
I think again I'll go to that same quote I used I think few days ago around T Dilip. What Manmohan Singh said in the I think in the upper house of the lower house, that history will be kinder to him. It's the way T Dilip, when he said that, means when the extension ended, it was more like that, there were a lot of questions around T Dilip. But we all can vouch for this, that whenever T Dilip was there, it was he put his 100%. and if players are, as Devashish Das said, if players used to drop dollies, then fielding coach can't do anything around that. If someone like a Shivam Dubey, you can't see him getting better in last 2 to 3 years. Him dropping Mohammad Rizwan at New York, him dropping again a catch here in a bilateral series. There's nothing new around it. Seeing him dropping catches at Belfast also. So yeah, let's give some time to
Rohit,
Shubhadeep Ghosh also.
Rohit,
Yes,
Rohit,
yes,
Rohit, the problem is that the whole irony is that the collective fitness of the team
yes.
has hit the floor,
Dropped down.
especially the Gen Z. The collective
Hmm.
fitness has hit the floor, and we have been blaming the fielding coach. That's the irony. Anyway,
Okay. Gen Z is the key word as far as this particular time is concerned. Thank you so much. We are not Gen Zs, but yeah, at least thank you so much for watching this video. This video already crossed it means we were trying to give it a duration around 20 to 25 minutes, and it's already crossed 40 minutes. Thank you so much, guys.